Hello guys, so today I'm going to be showing to you a demo of the walk cycle and run cycle of the quadruped. The final output that you're supposed to have kind of looks like a compilation, which is like this, and this is going to be the final output of what you're supposed to have. So you have the walk cycle, that's front side and then back side on the top, and then at the bottom are the run cycle, front and then back again, and they should be around 5 to 6 seconds long. So that means that the loops, you're gonna have to loop it yourself and use the editing softwares that you can like add the proper color, proper size, and proper placements. So that's the idea behind it. Generally speaking, when people try to do a four-legged animal, people kind of have this idea that you kind of put two humans together, front and back, and then just smush them together into one character. But that's not how walk cycles work. How walk cycles work generally for a quadruped is more of a weight distribution from front to back. So with the usual human walk cycle, you kind of have a left and right situation, right? But with horses or quadrupeds in general, it's a little different. So the pattern is more of like a 1-3-2-4 pattern. So I'll show it to you here, is that if you slow down, you'll see that the first legs will always be this. Could be the left, could be the right, but it doesn't really matter. But as long as you know that you're starting with 1, 2, 3, and then 4, you're going to be distributing it as 1 goes first. That's 1. And then you have 2. 1, 3, my bad. So 1, 3. And then 2, which is this one. And then 4, which is this fourth one. So the walk cycle is more of like trying to make sure that it's catching front and back course simultaneously. So with the general human or bipedal walk cycle, you have one core that's trying to catch itself forward. So it's more of like trying to catch the weight by extending a leg forward, right? With quadrupeds, you're dealing double the effort. So you have the front and then the back, then front and then the back. So it's a little bit more intense. So you kind of have to make sure that you have this proper weight distribution as well from the top view. So that's why it kind of, most quadrupeds have these swerves. So if you own a pet, let's say a cat, you'll kind of see how they walk. They kind of have this wobbly walk at the back. Their butt kind of sways from left to right. So that's generally the reason why the walk cycle is 1-3-2-4 situation. All right, as for the run cycle, it's a little bit different with it when it comes to quadrupeds as well. It's because this time you really cannot compare this to the human run cycles, because what the quadrupeds usually do is that they like to push themselves forward from their hind legs to the front. So if you notice that in the walk cycle, they start first with the first leg, 1-3-2-4, with the run cycles 4-2-1-3, and you will see that pattern in almost every single galloping creature. So I'm not so sure how that works with the other creatures like panthers and stuff, because they have a different like way of reaching high speed velocity. But generally for horses, they do a gallop. That's why it kind of has that sound, that dig, 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 dig. It's because if you actually count that, that's like 4-2-1-3, 4-2-1-3, 4-2-1-3 simultaneously, and then you'll find this silent part there in the dig, 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 dig. That's the part where they're trying to catch themselves mid-air. So that's when all legs are kind of floating. And the idea behind that is that usually when you run, you kind of want to leap forward a little bit, because that's what running is generally. It's because you want to catch more ground when you're trying to run at a certain direction. So that's why the kind of like the weight distribution for horses are kind of weird, a little bit more heavy. So with the animations, of course, don't forget the follow through. So I did that with the tail, and then also a little bit of a head bobbing. If you noticed with the walk cycle, the head bob is kind of like very simple. It's more of like trying to catch its weight, but here it's more of trying to extend forward. So, and also it's good because like the eyes kind of have to be in level with the place where they're running, right? So so that they will not be off balance when they're trying to reach a certain destination. Of course, you're not limited to this type of animation. This is just the very basics. And if you want to add personality, feel free to do so. So let's say you want to animate a running elephant, you can definitely add floppy ears with follow through and stuff like that. But the general idea is you should be able to portray every single movement that you need with a walk and run cycle without having to use too much of the controllers. As long as by the end, you should be able to have a reel that looks like this. So there's going to be time lapse for both of these. So if you're curious about how these things are done, feel free to just change the speed and check out the time lapse. But this is the general rule, so I really do hope that this has been useful for you. And if you're going to, and I'm looking forward to your submissions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys in class.